So in this video, I'm going to show you what happened on CADJPY earlier today, and that is coming right up. All right, CAD-CHF, not really sure of a direction, so we'd leave that alone. CAD-JPY, interesting. It is at a high, right? Cool. Can we say that there was enough of a trend prior? Maybe, I guess. All right, cool, interesting. I guess we could call this a fake out. Is this area at any obvious retail resistance? Doesn't look like it, which is weird. All right, which is weird. So what I would actually say is, you know something, monitor what happens on CADJPY going forward right here. And if it stop hunts this area, sells. However, if it does not stop on this area and it breaks this trend and gives us our rules going into Asian session tonight, we sell it. But for now, leave this alone. Do not try to buy it. Do not try to sell it just yet. Wait. Now let's go over what happened on CADJPY, as you can see here, as per what I said this morning. Now, you'll realize that CADJPY more or less did what I thought it would do, right? If it stop hunts this high, you know, you could see sells, you could sell it, and so said, so done. Now let's explain why this would have happened. Now people have this ideal that reversals aren't a thing and blah, 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 and all of these different kind of nonsense, right? Now, you have to understand a few key principles. You have to understand the spread, you have to understand manipulation, you have to understand trends, the way retail traders see it, and you have to understand why retail traders see this. Retail traders see trends because that's what they learn. They learn to trade the trend. They say the trend is your friend, right? Again, I'll say it again. In Trinidad, we learned that friends will carry you and not bring you back, right? In these areas that I'm highlighting here, retail traders would have been buying. If you are a retail trader who thinks like a retail trader, you probably bought in one of these areas, here, here, or here, all right? Because this is what you learn. You learn to trade the trend. The trend is your friend, right? Just gonna draw this next little trend line here to show this is what retail probably would have seen, blah, blah, blah. Right, nice. They bought in these areas. I'm gonna put a little line here, all right? Retail bought in these areas, and that is only common sense for them because that's what they learn, right? And their stop losses would have been right below the entry. They say that right below structure. Their stop losses usually are right below structure. That is a reality, right? I'm sure that you would have done this sometime in your journey as a trader. Maybe you do this now. Your stop loss is right below structure. Now, that being said, the dealer has been creating buys for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 days, an 8-day buying trend, right? And what he actually did is these areas where people are buying are traps that have been set by the dealer. And that is important because if you really figure out what he's trying to do, he's just using the concept of you need to spend money to make money. Show them the buys, buy the market so that he can recoup on his investment and recover on his investment. So you can have a beautiful ROI, a return on investment. So all the people buy, they get, you know, happy because there's a trend when in reality it's a fake trend and he's just going to go against them. Remember I said that retail traders would have been buying in these areas. They would have bought along this trend line right here. And their stop losses would have been right below here. So doesn't that then mean that if the dealer wants to take these buyers out, he needs to come back for their stop losses? That's only common sense. What I actually think can happen on CADJPY is price can drop as low as even here. Up to about, I'd say, up to about 50 pips, give or take. Because what he has to do is he has to cater for all of the retail traders who had a slightly wider stop. So all here is a stop loss that he has to go and run and grab, all right? Now, let's figure out why it's sold here. So you all probably would have heard me talk about retail trader traps, support traps, resistance traps, and whatever. This is not a resistance trap because, and I digress, Notice what happened. He did not induce sells here, because if he did, it would not have such a gigantic wick to the top side. Anybody who sold right here, this wick would have more than likely taken you out. I'm almost certain of that. This wick would have taken you out. That wick is about 10 pips. That wick would have tried, or at least tried, to take you out. All right. So anybody who sold here, they probably would have either closed prematurely or been taken out. Because again, your stop loss is right above structure. That's what you learn, right? So anybody who sold, you ain't getting to capture this. That's why we wait for the stop hunt. We wait for that to happen. You're going to see in an image that I'm going to put up on the screen where I actually saw this happening and I said, CADJPY possible sells. Guess what? I sold it because I saw the stop hunt happening. I saw it, it was coming and it came. I entered right around here. My stop loss is 10 pips above all what was already nonsense that was happening. And it dropped about 33 pips almost instantly, right? In a few hours, it dropped almost 33 pips. And I believe that it can go further. That's just the reality of what happens. That's what the dealer does. That's what he does. So let's monitor what happens on CADJPY going forward.